Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm the amateur, where I'm not necessarily a professional in any way, shape, or form, but we're just kind of here to have a conversation. And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about loyalty, fidelity, and cheating. And this is in response to a daily wrap-up crew video that I happened to come across where they were like boasting about who was the best cheater. Like, I know modern dating sucks, but since when did that become like an acceptable thing to boast about? Like, who wants to be the best cheater? Like, that's like that's a losing situation. No one wants to be the best cheater. At least I don't want to be a part of a group that claims to be the best cheater. Like, didn't make sense to me. Didn't understand it. And I know that in this day and age, when marriage is coming less and less as a viable option, especially for men, um, because of the extreme commitment that it calls for on both sides. And you can go and search my previous videos on marriage for more information on that. But it definitely doesn't help when enters the equation, for sure. And I know everyone's cheating looks different, but what I will say is that cheating is anything that has been previously discussed as an expectation of you, and you specifically going against your word of what you said you would do. So, like, if you said that, if you told them that you can expect me to not do XYZ, not hang out with my friends without telling you, not talk to my best guy friend without first saying XYZ or whatever, like if that was a conversation that y'all had so that you guys could both have appropriate expectations of one another, and you deliberately go against that knowing how your partner feels about that, then that is cheating. I mean, it's lying, and there's a lot of things in there, but especially going out and having sex with another woman or another man, what have you, when that was expressly um, like told to not do that. So that is cheating in a nutshell. But I mean, we always talk about cheating when it comes down to uh, sexual relations outside of the relationship as first and foremost, which is again, adultery, especially when it comes to marriage. Not a good thing, not something to be proud of for sure. But we're gonna go ahead and get into the video.
I think when men cheat, they normally cheat down, but when women cheat, they cheat up. She turned to you real quick, like you was talking. You had something get off your chest.
Okay, so before they say anything, what I will say is cheating up versus cheating down is completely subjective, and it just depends on how you frame it. Because obviously, you're cheating, or you're going out, you're stepping outside of your relationship because you viewed that there was something better on the other side. So either way, in some aspect, they both cheated up, in other aspects, they both cheated down. Whatever you want to call it, it's still cheating. It's still wrong. Still, like, why are you in a relationship, or why would you present yourself as being loyal and true to one person if that was never your intent from the jump, or if it was your intent and you changed your mind or whatever? Like, just break off the relationship, or at least give a notification or something. Like, people can be so horrible, so horrible.
Come to the mic. Come to the mic.
Based off of the question, in my opinion, I feel like men downgrade because they feel inadequate. Men downgrade because they feel inadequate. First and foremost, cheating has nothing to do with the person that they're in a relationship with. Cheating is a personal thing. So I feel like with men, when they downgrade from their significant other, is because they feel inadequate. They don't feel like they deserve the woman that they're with. So they go with somebody who requires less. You don't have to grow much. It's a little bit easier, less work. That's my opinion.
How did you come up?
Okay, so she is saying that men cheat down, quote unquote, because they don't feel adequate, meaning that they don't feel good enough to be with the woman that they have, which I don't understand that logic. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Usually, if you don't feel good enough or you don't feel adequate enough for what you do have, you typically just feel grateful. I don't know. I spoke too soon on that. Gratitude is definitely it's a learned behavior. So let me not say too much. Let me let her explain herself.
With this opinion?
Because I'm smart.
Well,
Okay.
let me tell you, I disagree, man. Men, I think
I
men
wanted to
cheat
hear
down
this.
because
Oh wait, before he answers. So, okay, I'm not questioning her intelligence, but her reasoning skills, as far as to how she got to the conclusion she got to, could use some work. Um, but as far as I feel inadequate, so I'm going to go against my word and go and cheat down with somebody else. Just on that word, it doesn't make much sense, and we'll see what the men have to say.
it's just less work. You feel me? Like,
She
if
said
you
that
got a
though.
That's what
baddie,
she
But that's
said.
what I
She said that. She
said.
said that.
wait. But listen. If you got a, not because they feel
Yeah.
inadequate.
Yeah,
That's not what
yeah,
I'm saying. I'm
yeah.
saying if you got a baddie to maintain another baddie, that's a lot of work. But to have a baddie and then this, she let me slap when I want. That's not a lot of work. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's why men cheat down because they
It's
not
less
trying
effort,
to.
yeah.
They not
Yeah.
trying to juggle too. You know what I mean?
And I'm gonna help you out even more because women cheat up because they're trying to find a replacement while
So before we get into, I don't know any of their names, but before we get into what any of them are saying as far as with it being less work, quote unquote, to cheat down, it's just again the question you have to ask yourself is why are you in the relationship with the first woman you're with to begin with, or why are you making it seem like you want to be with her and only her, and that's what she expects and understands of you if you think that she's too much work and you want something else. Because if she's not providing you with what you want, then why are you dating her? Or why are you having sex with her? Or why are you letting her think that she's the only one that you want to have sex with? You know what I mean? So definitely a lack of communication, and communication is going to be a big thing with relationships as far as with making sure that you're making your intentions clear and your expectations clear. And if your expectations and reality aren't matching up, to address that. And if the matching expectations and reality still aren't in alignment, then you might just need to move on. And again, I say this all without actually engaging in sexual intercourse with the person that you're trying to see if you're matching with, because sex just conflates so much. And I say this because I have not had sex, so I obviously know. But at least from what I've been hearing and everything that I see, it sounds very much like once you have sex with a person, if you establish that, I think some people call it a soul tie. There's definitely an emotional bond, especially with the first person that you've ever had sex with. Like, that's just not something that you ever forget, and there's probably a reason for that, because it was designed that way, because you're supposed to do that in marriage. But I digress, and we'll move on to why women supposedly cheat.
they're cheating. They're doing it with intentions.
Because they're gonna
No.
get y'all need
and-
because y'all
No.
usually cheat because of security.
Y'all
Like, you know what I
Women,
mean?
women
You already got
cheat
in your,
up because it's always to shit on you niggas.
all right, but you're already making your next move.
That don't make any sense either. So I kind of cut it off a little bit sooner than to let the other guy finish his statement. But he's basically saying women cheat up because they're trying to look for the next move, look for the next bag, look for the next whatever, which to an extent I think I can agree with, as far as they're scouting their options, because women never want to settle. Probably going to make another video on that. But women never want to settle. They're always trying to look for bigger and better. On to the next one, on to the next one. I can't just be happy with what I have and grow together with one person. You have to always, like, women are trying to look for someone who already has it better, already has it good, and so that they're not also being that assisting hand in that, in developing that relationship, developing the growth. So to an extent, I can agree with that. What she said, as far as to talk bad about these men, it's just like, why do you want to do that to your partner? Why do you want to do that to someone that you've chosen? Like, you chose your partner. That he's your decision. Why are you going? What did he do that you need to step out of the relationship? And why couldn't you tell him about that before doing so? A lot of this is about self-control, for sure, and again, communication. So not acting out. I mean, I don't know. Again, I think I come from a perspective, because I have to practice self-control. Like, child, it ain't easy being a virgin, I'll tell you that. I will tell you that. But there's definitely a solid level of self-control that's involved, so that you know how to respond appropriately. You can't just always lash out in emotion. Like that's how you mess things up. That's another topic. But next.
To shit on you niggas because it's a mental thing for us.
Yes.
Once you break us down like y'all
look,
do,
men don't care about the woman that they fucking on the side.
I know, I agree.
Whether she's
That's why y'all cheat down.
Whether she looks better than your girl or she don't look better than your girl, we can curve them. Yeah. Women that cheat, they keep that attachment to that man that they're cheating with. Whether it's, talking to them, a nigga could smash a shorty.
That's not necessarily every female.
And never speak to her, never care about how she feels or think.
That's women as well.
So, again, this is kind of what I was talking about later, and what they're talking about is that because women tend to be more emotional in nature, that they tend to form more of an emotional bond to whomever they are having sex with. And that men will look at it more logically, like this is just another body, which either way is not a good thing. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. So either way, again, you're stepping out, you're being disloyal. Their argument is that women tend to have more of an emotional connection or attachment to whomever they're stepping out of the relationship with, whereas men, it's just a body, which again, like, that might be true, but that's not good. Like, women don't, I can't say all women, but some women, like a lot of women, don't just want to be treated as I'll leave this for another video, but they don't want to just be treated as just a vagina with feelings, more or less. So.
No, women are better cheaters by far.
Women are
we already debunked this.
By far, we are the better cheaters.
Women are not better.
Women are.
Yes, we are.
It's not even to be
Men
like,
are sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
Men are sloppy. That's one. That's the biggest downfall. Women are more discreet. That's two. And three, men have to do more to cheat than women.
Let me ask you a question, man.
So I don't. Again, why are we boasting about who's the better cheater? That's not anything to be proud of. But I think, as far as sloppiness or whatnot, I think a lot of women, their downfall is that they tend to project. So at least what I've seen in the stories, that women who are cheating start thinking that their man is also cheating, and so they start looking at things that they're doing to kind of take away from them, if that makes any sense. Crap. But either way, it's like it's not a that's just not an accomplishment. And why are these, both of them, like, why are you looking at it like it's an accomplishment to be proud of? Like, none of that makes no sense. But we're gonna go ahead and keep on going.
How much times you go through your man's phone?
None, because I don't want my phone going through. And that's just my privacy.
Okay, all right.
How much times do you moving think? On as far as with having your phone gone through, yes, there's a certain level of privacy and I don't want to say secrecy because that's not what you want, but there is a certain level of privacy that you have, but you should also not be ashamed of, if you have, like, being ashamed or trying to hide anything from your partner unless you're, like, planning a special surprise or something like that. You know what I mean? So, like, you shouldn't, if you aren't doing any, it's a balance as far as to not be that nosy nobody. Like, you're entitled to your phone, you're entitled to your privacy, you're entitled to have whatever you have on your own stuff. But it's like, if your partner asks to see it, you shouldn't be ashamed of sharing it because you don't have anything to hide, or you shouldn't have anything to hide. Should is a very strong word, but we'll keep on going.
The average woman goes through their man's phone.
I'm pretty sure a lot.
All right, how much times do you think that a man goes through a woman's phone on average?
Not much, because men can't take it.
No,
that's
why.
Exactly
Men
can't take it. You don't want to hear Jackie is fucking Paul.
No.
Guess what? But Jackie not scared to know that Paul is fucking. Jackie want to know that Paul is fucking, but Paul, if you're
take that.
Paul can't take Jackie fucking.
Y'all be ready to kill him.
Yeah, we be hurt, but we want to see it. I bet you, I guarantee, if you do a poll on your podcast, how many men and women go through the phone and ask why men don't go. Men don't.
But that's what I'm
take it.
saying. That's
can't
we
take
can't say women are better because y'all better at investigating and trying to get
No,
to a
we're
nigga
better.
phone.
We're better at
Men don't
cheating
care.
too.
The men don't care.
No,
But we're not
men-
going
men
through
don't
your
have to
phone.
go.
Like, yo,
Men
Men
is
don't
not-
have to go through the
Men is
phone.
not
But there
looking
are-
for
there
men is
are
not
men
looking
that
for patterns.
would-
They're
Okay.
not going
So
through
much
phones.
other
They're
stuff.
not doing.
So I think also the thing with this is with men and women how we think and reason. So like I've mentioned this in previous videos, men tend to think more logically, tend to think with less emotions involved, whereas women tend to think more emotionally, more intuition based, which intuition is for both men and women, but it's a gut feeling. So if you're more in tune with feelings, you're more in tune with intuition. Intuition is also like a hit or miss, so it's not like a foolproof type of thing. But anyway, so with men, it's like they're not going to ask to search unless there has been some sort of evidence or reason to feel suspicious. Like they don't. A lot of men don't. So you'll see how you'll see a lot of stuff about women's intuition. With men, they have intuition. They just don't act on it because they want to be sure. They don't want to necessarily jump on something that hasn't been supported by any evidence, whereas women tend to do the latter, where if they have a feeling, they're just going to take it and run with it and not necessarily check to see if it's actually supported. They're just literally just going off their feelings and their feelings alone, which is pretty dangerous actually. But it has its merits, but very very rarely. It's not foolproof. So I think that's kind of the reasoning that those men were mentioning there. So.
All this stuff.
No, but men, that's some men, but men.
Most men
some
is
men
not
is
going
gonna
through
do it.
phones. They're
Yeah,
not
they're
looking
not.
for patterns.
Yeah.
Women do that.
And
That's
Drew,
something that
Drew, what you always say?
I always say, a man is not gonna tell on a female when he's cheating on. If a man asks me if I'm smashing his lady, I'm gonna say no.
Because you're not
Right.
a clown.
No, but most men are not gonna.
There's
say
a lot of clowns
no.
out here.
If a woman approach you like you fucking my man, yeah, bitch, I am. That's all
He was
it
at my
is.
house yesterday, and what? And what?
So, I mean,
This
I'm
is
just
where he
saying,
wanna
a
be.
man is
Like-
not
It's
gonna
only
lose his
certain
ourselves.
guys
With
hold
that, and again, none of this is good. None of this is anything to be proud of. So it's just like, why are we perpetuating this? But I feel like on the men's side, if you know, I think there's a difference. I think this is the problem with how relationships are dealt with, because like if you you shouldn't be stepping outside of anyone anyway, but if you find yourself to be, like the man was saying, like if someone else came up and asked him if you are having sex with his lady and you didn't know that she was in a relationship, that's something that you should admit to, because like you didn't know, you weren't purposefully doing so. And if you did know that she had another relationship going on that she said she was loyal to or whatever, it's like you are perpetuating a horrible situation by not saying the truth. And then with the ladies, what they tend to do when that happens is that they'll be like, yeah, sure did sleep with your man, what you gonna do about it? And then it creates this poor dynamic. I mean, in both situations where that other woman didn't have a word of bond to you that stated that she would stay loyal to you and only have sex with you. That man did. So that other woman boasting about it, like that's nothing to be proud of, because you're just another piece in the game being played. And that woman, the woman who got cheated on, is now fighting with another girl instead of her attention being to the man who said that he wouldn't do that to her. So I think it's just a misalignment of priorities for sure.
A man gonna lose up on no free poons
It's only
unless he
certain
hate the
guys.
nigga.
Come
You know what I'm
on.
saying?
Only certain guys is gonna hold it down.
Most guys.
No, most
Only
guys
way
don't.
he's
Most
telling,
guys.
only way he's violating this dude is if he don't like him. They got a personal relationship where he wants to hurt this nigga's feelings.
But
Exactly.
other than that,
But
you're
other than
like,
that,
Yeah.
I'm not giving
I
up
don't know
no
what
free
you talking about, bro.
poons. That's it.
That's
I
it.
want free poons
You said
every
Tiffany?
day.
I never even met a Tiffany in my life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo,
Oh.
women, yeah, he was eating my pussy yesterday. Like, that's why when you kiss him, you kiss my pussy.
Look. The evidence is here. You know what I'm saying?
So women seem like better cheaters, but it's just certain factors that contribute.
Whatever. You
to
had
that.
some valid points, but we still better.
Yo, Jew, what we talking about?
Degenerates, the whole lot of them. All right, so that's the end of that video. I keep going on too long in these. Summary: don't be a cheater. Don't step out of a relationship. If you're gonna want to do that, if that's not been previously discussed beforehand, don't do it. Talk it out and break up or whatever. But it's like, what? Don't play with people's emotions. Don't play with their time, because you don't got time for that. We really don't. So let's bring back loyalty. Let's bring back fidelity. Let's bring back good relationships. So stay safe out there. If you like this video, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.